Hi, I'm Mark James. I've been in the ITIL, SIAM and ITSM space for over 25 years. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe, hit the bell. I create videos on a regular basis, so there's always new information available. Okay, so let's get to it. Today I'm going to be talking about the service value chain within ITIL4. So the service value chain, it's part of the service value system. In fact, it's right at the center of it. The service value chain can be viewed as a tool set, if you like. It's something that an ITSM practitioner, an ITIL professional can use and should be part of their tool set. We'll go into more details and information about the service value chain, but it's basically an operating model for the creation, for the delivery, and the improvement of services. Fundamentally, it creates value. So it maps that demand into value. The model has 6 activities and it's a step model. So the 6 steps are plan, improve, engage, design and transition, obtain, build, deliver and support. And we'll go through these in a bit more detail, and I have an example at the end of this presentation that we can talk through, and I can give you a real world example of how do you map a particular activity. So in terms of those 6 activities, plan, improve, engage, design and transition, obtain and build, deliver and support. A really neat way to remember that is the acronym PIEDOD, P-I-E-D-O-D. So these are the steps that create that value, and each activity converts inputs into outputs. All of these activities are interconnected, so they're receiving and providing triggers within that value chain. So as we said, it's a set of interconnecting activities an organisation would perform typically, and it's about delivering a valuable product or delivering a service to its customers, consumers, and then facilitate that value. So it's about value realisation. There's 6 activities, and they're all combined into producing something called a value stream. It's worth noting that the service value chain can be adapted to multiple approaches. So, for example, DevOps or centralized IT. The service value chain, it allows an organization to react to changing demands from stakeholders, and it does that in the most effective or most efficient way. So the service value chain, it's then further enhanced by the ITIL4 practices. So you may remember around the ITIL4 practices, you've got general management practices, you've got service management practices, and you've got technical management practices. So each practice basically supports multiple service chain activities. So if we then go into a bit more detail then, so we've said about value. So a service value chain and the service value stream should always start with that demand, that opportunity, and it should always end with delivering value of some kind to your stakeholders. So a value stream is a series of steps that create and deliver products or services, and a value stream is a combination of the organization's value chain activities. A good way to remember service value system, service value streams, service value chains is that you can think of a service value system as the map of the service ecosystem, the service value chain as the rail network, and then the service value streams as the actual vehicles, the trains that are running on that network. So if we just delve into a little more detail on the plan, the engage, the design, transition, obtain, build, deliver, support, and improve. So plan, so that's all types of planning activities at all levels. It's about gaining a shared understanding of the vision, the current status, the as-is position, and then that improvement direction. The engage component, so that's any and all interactions and needs with the people, with the stakeholders who are external to the service value chain. Examples of those could be management, it could be customers, it could be employees, service providers, suppliers, partners. It's really important that there's a level of transparency in there, and that there's that continual engagement. The service and transition part, so business analysis, development of new and improved services, making sure that the product or the service meets the expectations that your stakeholders are asking for. So those could be quality, it could be time to market, it could be as simple as cost. Obtain and build, so any new resource that's brought into the value stream is sourced via obtain and build. An example might be a patch or a piece of software that needs to be updated, a service pack of some kind. So you need to obtain that piece of software, you need to download it. So it ensures the service components are available when and where they are needed. But not only that, so they need to be available when and where they're needed, but it's at that agreed specification. So they have to be, it's got to be right. The deliver and support part, so think of provisioning services and providing help and information. So delivered and supported in line as per your stakeholders' requirements and their expectations. So you are provisioning the services, you are delivering them, and you are supporting them. And then the improve part is continuous improvement at all levels. So it ensures your practices, it ensures your services, it ensures your products across the whole of the service value chain and the 4 dimensions of service management. Okay, so we've established that there's plan, engage, design and transition, obtain, build, deliver and support. So if we go through an example, so let's talk through a service value chain mapping example. And in this example, let's assume there's an IT incident, and let's assume it's a P2. So first of all, there's the demand. The user from the IT service, or the user using the IT service within the business experiences an issue of some kind, but more worryingly, it's actually impacting business operations. So it's impacting the production from a business operational perspective. So that's the demand part. The engage element would be that user may say call the service desk, and they would report that issue, and they would provide details over the phone, and it then evolves into an incident. So it's logged, a priority. So in this example, I'm saying let's pretend it's a P2 incident. So it's logged, it's given a priority, it's assigned to somebody, and an expectation or a resolver group. It's been assigned rather into the service desk function. The expectation has been set for a resolution time. So perhaps you have a an SLA in place that says all P2s will be resolved within 8 hours, for the sake of argument. The practices, so ITIL4 terminology in terms of the practice that's been used here, would be the service desk and the incident management process. The next step would be a deliver and support. So the incidents escalated to the relevant assignment group. So this is a P2, remember. Practices that you would come across in this particular situation would be the service desk and the incident management practice. Then the next step around delivery and support, but also improve. So the subject matter expert in the assignment group identifies the issue. So they work out what the problem is. They acquire information from the CMS and they fix the issue. Let's assume, for the sake of argument, this is a standard change. So there's no additional approvals needed, no ECAB. Let's keep this simple. The subject matter expert then looks at the IT asset, gets any information updated, and then the subject matter expert updates the incident itself as resolved. So that SME's fixed it. Practices in that deliver and support and improve activity would be incident management. Perhaps there would be a change management element in there, although we've said it's a standard change, but so there's no approval needed as such, but there's still a change management activity there. Service configuration, asset management, continual improvement. So the next element on that would be the engage. So the service desk agent would then contact that original user or group of users or team or whoever it may be, and that conversation would be along the lines of they're just confirming that they've been informed it's been fixed. Can they confirm that? Is that their understanding? Does it work now? So in this example, let's assume it does. So the person says, yeah, it's fine, it's all fixed, we're all good, and then the incident is closed. So practices used, service desk, and incident management. So then there's two other steps here. So the value point would be about that the service has been restored and business operations can resume. The final element would be engage and improve. So perhaps a CSAT survey would then be sent out to the user. The user would then complete that. They would return that. And then that information would be looked at in terms of analysis, perhaps some reporting information about it, looking for any trends, any commonalities, as well as feedback back to the service desk manager for any of his or her considerations. So practices you would expect in that engage and improve back to that service desk manager, and the reporting and the analysis, those practices would be service desk, incident, but also CI as well. So hopefully that's given you a very brief overview of the service value chain, and we've gone through an example there of the mapping a value stream for an incident which was a P2. Thank you very much for listening. Please do subscribe to the channel. Thanks again.